in a relationship, you can all get this cloud nine
There's a
butterflies and
they call a
then,
honeymoon stage at the
yeah,
beginning.
Yeah.
but then weeks by week, day by days, you will literally see their true colors.
Mm-hmm.
And then you
And by
cannot ignore that red flag,
Mhm.
because if you do, you're gonna be into that situation that you don't want to be.
Mm-hmm.
And by any means, nobody's perfect. Like
Yeah.
the one thing that I wanted to say too was I accepted this person's flaws
Mm.
100%, because once you love a person, you love them unconditionally.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
love them unconditionally, and try to overlook at a lot of things,
Yeah.
because some things it's minor,
Mm.
but
Mhm.
because I mean it starts as minor, right? So when the major things happens, you're trying to give them the benefit of the doubt,
Mhm.
not knowing that these are going to be the major later on.
Thanks. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what you call it.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think also, like, when it comes to that aspect, going in another relationship after that abuse, I feel like don't rush into things just for you to make
Definitely.
make it feel like I'm happy, and then just like little patch the hole in your heart, because 100%, 110%, you're gonna fail that relationship because you're not
Exactly.
healed. You're not fully healed. You just want someone to make you feel good and forget about what happened. But in
You just want to put a
reality,
band-aid on your pain, but
yeah,
really it's not healed.
yeah. But in
Um,
reality, it's
exactly.
like literally you're hurting yourself even more.
And that's where I am right now, like, I mean, I can probably go out with people,
Mhm.
you know, um, just to forget about it.
Yeah.
But that's not really healing, because you're using that situation to, you know,
Cover
to
up.
get
Mhm.
past
Mm-hmm.
what you're
Mm-hmm.
feeling, but really you're kind of, making it worse for yourself, because you're not
Mhm.
properly healing.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking for happiness in some other people when
Mm-hmm.
you really have to look the happiness within yourselves
Mm-hmm.
you know
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
and then what worst part is, like, what if that person is the one for you, and then you just like jump into like, I'm just with you just to just to patch the hole in my heart. But little but you know that that person is really the one for you. And then what's gonna happen next?
Yeah. Well, I want to share something. So I went out with somebody today during my lunchtime.
Mm-hmm.
Someone had reached out to me on Instagram. It's actually a neighborhood friend that, I have neighborhood friends. So anytime like neighborhood friends gets together, he's there, but I never really noticed him, until he found me on Instagram. He reached out, I was like, hey, do you remember me? Da, da, da. So I was like, not really, but it was like, what? How? Like, we have the same circle of neighborhood friends. And I'm like, well, I don't know. Maybe whenever I come out, he's not around, or I just don't be noticing him. But anyway, we
Yeah.
started talking and we went out for lunch, I can sense that he's trying to, you know, pursue me at some
Yeah.
point. You know what I mean? That's the whole reason why he asked me to go to lunch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because he wants to get to that level. But even though I was able to carry on a conversation, I was really having a hard time, like, kind of opening,
Wow.
you
Mm-hmm.
know, because I mean, for me, everything is fresh, so it's hard for me to, you know, it's hard for me to just be social right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And and I think part of the healing too is you have to know when you're ready, and don't just put yourself out there, because you come back and you just like you feel shitty all over again. You know, like when I came back, the only thing I can think of is my person,
Wow.
because we've had some good times.
Yeah.
I'm not here to just bash him, for the things that he did to me, but like I was telling Trey, like when things are great, he was actually my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
We've shared And prior to that incident that happened, we had a heartfelt conversation. We were at the restaurant.
Yeah.
We were at the restaurant, and he was admitting everything that he did wrong, and and I was expressing to him, same thing with me, like I had, I wasn't perfect. Maybe I was being a woman, giving an attitude, you know what I mean? But it wasn't nothing serious to the point where you have to do what you needed to do to me, But because I feel like anytime I feel a certain way, if I was having problems at work, he would comfort me when he's in a good mental state of mind, when he's stable. But then when he's not stable, he would like bring me down. He would like, well, you should have done this, you should have done that, I told you not to do this, I told you not to do that, so that type of things. And but we've had some good memories as well, so I feel like there was potential in those happy memories.
Yeah.
And that's what made me stay, and that's what made me have hopes that him and I can really have a future, because I'm trying to convince myself that maybe one day he'll just wake up and I mean, maybe not completely change, but at least get to that point where he wants to work on it so that we can be, so that we can have a life together, and that was the hope that I had every day, that I know it, after that incident, it will never happen. You can't change the person, basically.
Exactly.
They have to change for themselves.
Exactly.
So
you sound stronger than you did yesterday. You sound even stronger.
Yeah, because of you, Trey.
Nah, don't do that. Don't do that.
Credit to the day. Yeah, no, I, no, don't get me wrong. I woke up this morning and I was crying. I was crying, but I was like, you know what? It's a new day. You know what I mean? Have your cry and go on about your day.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's
and it's
good.
okay to cry. I mean, that doesn't mean that you're weak. It
No.
just means that you're recognizing your emotions. That it's okay not to be okay. Because if you keep on holding that emotion, nothing's gonna happen. I mean, it's not gonna help you.
Exactly.
There's like one point like you're like sleeping a volcano, and then once it's like literally you're like about to explode, it will just literally explode at one time.
Yeah, I mean, there's times when I'm like, well, is there something that I could have done differently, that day, that day? Because normally when he gets angry, I tried, instead of reacting to the situation, the way he's being violent and aggressive, I try to be the person who, calms him down, because I've known him for that long, that I know there's certain things that can calm him, but this particular day, he just want to keep going with it, and he doesn't want to stop, he doesn't want to stop.
Yeah.
Exactly. That leads me to, I would say, my last question, which would be for people who are in, a domestic violence situation right now, and they're listening to you, Joy, they're listening to you, Jen. They're like, man, Jen, it has been 11 years. Wow. Or they're looking at Joy and they're like, man, only 2 weeks and she's already talking about it and she's stepping away. Like, wow, they're admiring you both. What would you say to women right now, or men who are in those situations right now, and they're just too afraid? They feel like they can't leave. What would you both say to them?
For me, what a piece of advice that I can give them, like what I've said, we can give advice, but then it's up to those people if they're really actually gonna do an action about it. For me, when it's time to leave, that like literally it's telling you that you need to leave, but you really love that person. Reflect on yourself. Reflect on yourself before you even met that person, what your life was before that.
Wow.
And then are you gonna continue living your life in the fear of like not having him in your life or not having her in your life? No, right? We have to learn to to back off when we know it's time to back off. Even it's not gonna be easy, but we have to do what's best for us. Because if you're stuck in that situation and you're allowing your partner to do the same thing, in their mindset, like I can do whatever I want to this person. I can kill this person, and still like that person will still love me. Because we are allowing them to feel that way, that they have the authority, the power to manipulate and to pretty much like control our life. And it's time it's time for that those people to do something and not live in the fear anymore, to the point like, hey, I need to put a stop on this situation, because if not, I'm gonna be stuck, or either I'm gonna be alive or I'm gonna be in the grave. Because you're allowing that person. And then
Yeah.
by allowing them is you're giving them the pretty much the power, literally the power, because they think they are literally very powerful when it comes to you. And I get it, you're in fear that if you speak up and they find out, they're gonna do something to you. Then there's so much resources there that they're willing to help those victims. If you're scared to come forward like on what's going on, maybe start from a little step. Talk to counselor, talk to therapy, talk to like victims, and
Yeah.
then they can share what they did step by step just to get out of that relationship.
Mhm.
I think talking to victims with similar situation really helps, because we experience the same exact thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not bashing people that, that didn't have that experience, because, a lot of people do mean well when, they try
Mhm.
to support you and,
Yeah.
give you advice. But it's really different when you're talking to somebody that you can relate certain situations. Like you and me, we
Mhm.
have, I mean, your person sound like a narcissist to me,
Mhm.
with, with the story that you told me.
Mhm.
But for me, like, I don't know if I can really give an advice yet, because I'm still in the healing process.
Yeah.
But one thing that, that day that, I question my value, you know, like
Bless you.
the more you allow this person, like what was that? What was going through my mind that day was like, my God, I don't deserve this,
Mhm.
It's like I need to value myself and really make the decision to walk away, because he obviously don't care about me, if he's keeps doing those things. He's gonna say one thing and the next thing he's gonna go back to doing the same exact thing.
Mhm.
So he doesn't value me.
Mhm.
He doesn't value me. And recognizing your worth,
Mhm.
basically,
Mhm.
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 So I think that's the first step that really went through my mind, was like, I mean, this is not worth it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to live like this. I don't want to live like this
Mhm.
every day, where I'm trying to convince this person to change.
Mhm.
It's like another job for me,
Yeah.
Yeah, and
basically.
then they're not gonna change. I mean, you're not able to change person, because the change needs to come out with that person itself. And then I felt like that point, I was like, I'm not your mom. And then if you do whatever at that point when I got out, like I felt relief. Like finally I'm able to say I'm free.
Mhm.
Yeah. And and I question, like, even if, like, actions are way better than words, right? As we say. And I just feel like he's just all about talking. He would, when he's good, he'd be like, I love you, baby. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. You're the only one for me, da 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 da. But it doesn't show through the action, because obviously you're doing all these things and you claim to say those things and love me, but you're not putting that into action. Because I know, for me, when he tells me that there's something I'm doing wrong and it bothers
Yeah.
him, I put it in action,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
you know? So, yeah, I mean, I just feel like, it's gonna be a long road for me, to be honest. But, I want to get there. I want to get to where you at, Jen. That I
You
could.
will, you will. I trust me, you will. It's not gonna be easy road. There's gonna be a bump in certain road, but trust me, as long as you're willing to work on yourself, as long as you know your worth, you're gonna be there. You're gonna get there. It will take a while, and that's fine. Like you're healing. Now that you can tell yourself, "Hey, I'm free. I'm gonna work on myself, and I deserve better." Look at yourself in the mirror every day, and say, "This woman deserves the best. This woman is beautiful with a heart. This new woman is intelligent, and this woman deserves to be treated like a queen."
And I kind of know that about myself, even though I don't voice it, like I know my worth, I know what I can put on the table, I know what I can offer, you know, other possible mate out there, but it's just
Yeah.
it stops me from moving forward because I'm just so emotionally attached to this person.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most hardest part right now is unattaching myself.
And it's only 2 weeks. Like give yourself a room to still like you're still like gonna be in that situation. It's only like what I've said, it's only 2 weeks. It's gonna be a
It's very
process for
fresh.
you.
Yeah.
It's fresh
Very-
for you. And then I think in the next few years you're gonna tell me, Jen, I'm finally free. And I'm ready. I'm ready to face this world. I'm ready to tell me like I'm a conqueror. I'm not a victim. I'm a survivor and I'm a conqueror. And
Thank you.
I believe in you. You got
Thank
this.
you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You really got this.
It's it's hard right now. Like I'm just dealing with it day to day, like we said, I'm still fresh out of it. Because at one point, I love very hard. So it's like I I couldn't imagine myself without this person,
Mhm.
but then at the same time, I don't want to keep living like that. You know what I mean? Because it's holding me back from the things that I want to do. Because I'm so focused on the relationship that it's
Mhm.
holding me back from the things that I want to do.
Mhm. And maybe it's about time for you to like do the things you really want to do, and then start from there. And next thing you know, here I am. Like the things that you
Yeah.
haven't been able to do when you were in relationship, now like you're free, step by step. And then next thing you know, yeah, this is like the thing that I haven't been able to do when I was with him, and now it feels good. It feels good to be me again. It feels good to love myself again. And now use this time to love hard for yourself. So next time you were ready, and you can tell I love myself more than anyone else. And then I know my worth. And next relationship, even I love hard, I'm gonna live harder. I'm gonna love myself harder than I love this person.
I hope so. I hope I get there.
You will.
There's a lot of fear within me right now, starting all over again when it's time to start all over again. I mean, it's not an easy thing. And especially for me, like, okay, I can get along with everybody, but it's hard for me to find a real connection too. I'm
Mhm.
very like picky when it comes to that. Like
Yeah.
I can go on a date and talk and whatever we're talking about at the moment, I can do that. But the connection for me is like, that's something that it's very rare for me. And I,
Mhm.
I did find it in this person. I feel like it takes a special person too to understand him,
Mhm.
what he's going through. But because he's selfish, he's so
Mhm.
focused on he's so focused on like just what he wants for himself, that
Mhm.
he's not seeing, that he doesn't care what happened to the other person, or
Mhm.
not that he doesn't care, but he just doesn't take it in consideration the way I see it in him. Like I'm recognizing, oh, he went through trauma because he went to jail for
Mhm.
6 years. he was incarcerated for 6 years. So I can only imagine as a young child trying to survive with all this other grown men, you know, in prison. So, but he doesn't think the same for me, you know. He's just like, you know, to him, like, you know, he'd comfort me and stuff like that, but then he would just like shove it under the rug, you know.
Yeah, but I felt like you're, I mean, in the years to come, once like literally the healing journey is almost at the end, I felt like whenever that be, only God knows, whenever you're ready for that, I feel like you will feel that connection again, but you know what to look for it. You know
Yeah.
that like, you know. But
I have become very picky now because of this.
oh, absolutely,
I have
absolutely.
become very, very, very picky now. Like, you know, for me, okay, we might have a good date today, but if I didn't feel that connection at the end of the night, like I'm not even gonna waste my time. Yeah, because you don't want to mislead people either, you know.
Exactly.
You know, it's so, I mean, I don't want anybody that doing to me, it's because they're trying to heal. It's because I'm trying to heal, you know, I'm just entertaining it just for, you know,
Because
just so I
or
can,
else if you allow that to happen, it's gonna be a cycle, and then you're not gonna heal
it's a
at all.
cycle, yes. So, you know, so yeah, I have to change my game a little bit. You know what I mean? If I'm just not feeling it, I just have to be honest. Because also I'm the person that, you know, I would probably give somebody a chance because that's just who I am, you know, because I would feel bad for that person. Because if I was on the other, I always put myself in a position of the other side, you know. If I was on the other side, I really like this person, but he wasn't really feeling me, you know what I mean? Like I would attempt to give me a chance, you know. But for me, because of what I went through, I felt like I cannot waste any more time. I cannot waste anybody's time, as well as my time.
Yeah.
So,
Ladies, this was dope. This was dope. This was dope. This was dope. Y'all have to make sure y'all follow each other because
We
Joy.
did already.
Okay, y'all did. Okay, because
oh, okay.
yeah,
Oh,
this
you did. You followed me already. Okay.
I did.
Okay, I'm gonna message you and, you know, give you my information.
Yeah,
perfect.
absolutely.
Ooh,
Yeah.
let's go. Let's go. This is why I do what I do. You know, this is exactly why, because of things like this. Like when people meet, they come together, they're able to talk. Again, that's why I name my brand Let's Just Talk. Like I truly believe like talking is like it's medicine. It's like natural medicine. You know?
It is. It is. It's medicine.
It's medicine.
And this is different too. It's different because I've been going to spiritual therapists. You know, I was trying something new.
Yes.
But like remember I was joking with you. I was like, man, it's like talking to a wall.
That's
Not
horrible. That's
bashing any
horrible.
therapist, okay?
That's horrible.
Yeah, not bashing any therapist, but you know, but I like that there's a little bit entertainment to it as opposed to just like, I mean, that's their job, is to really listen to you without judgment, really. And they'll give you advice, their opinions and stuff like that, but it's still different when you're doing a segment like this, you know, with the actual victim and, you know, with the promoter, you know what I mean? It's just, it's my first time doing it too. And I love it, you know, it's therapeutic to me.
Let's go.
It took me a while before Trey were able to convince me.
Yeah.
Until now, like I'm not allowing him to like I haven't allowed him to post the interview with me because I've felt like at this point I'm not totally like, you know, ready for it. And then it's social media, people like there's certain stuff like I just want to keep on like some private stuff. But I told Trey, you're gonna be able to post it like whenever I'm ready. But
I think for me, Trey, I've kept my stuff private enough that I'm ready to just, you know, share. I'm ready to share because, you know, and there, you know, you're gonna have people that might have a different opinion and that's okay, you know. But for me, it's like freeing myself too that way. I
Mhm.
feel like I've been in the dark for so long. So this is like kind of a feeling of freedom to me,
Wow.
talking about it
See,
openly
you're
and
literally
sharing it.
pretty much speaking it like freedom. It's
Yeah.
there already in you. It's really there, but it will like take as much time as you want to feel, girl.
Mhm.
But the freedom word itself is coming from you, and I know for a fact that you will be better in time.
Because I wasn't talking to anybody. Like I said, I isolated myself from my friends, from the people that cares for me. I mean, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the friends that I used to hang out with before, I stopped hanging out with them because he didn't approve them, so I isolated myself. Well, he convinced me to isolate myself,
Yeah.
basically. He convinced me that, that you don't need these people. They don't care for you. They don't have good intentions. But I
Mm-hmm.
do. I have good intentions for you. I care for you. I love you. But that's not the actions he showed me.
Yeah, it's really good to have this conversation.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's just like you feel like refreshed and know that like you share what you've been through, and then even then a lot of people that you don't even know, you pretty much touch their life, and then there is gonna be the beginning of them to be
Yeah.
free.
Exactly.
Well, so
Pretty much.
for the viewers, for the ones who
Mhm.
still in a situation, now, if they see this, they can really decide for themselves. They need,
Mhm.
they're gonna start analyzing their situation
Mhm.
from listening to from the actual victims. Um,
Exactly.
so that is my goal too. It's my first time doing it, but I wanted to share my story because I want to make a difference along with my healing process.
Everybody. Yeah.
Mhm.
Exactly.
And then
Exactly.
you can what also can help you document your healing process. Hey, this is like.
Yes, I haven't done it in so long. Whether you type it in a computer or you write it
Exactly.
in a
Write it down.
journal, I always advise that too.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Like because then when you look back on
Hmm.
what you came from to up to now, like, oh really? This
Yeah.
happened to me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
What
start doing that actually.
you know?
Yeah. 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 That's good.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna try that. I mean, I used to do that when I was younger. Like a
Mm-hmm.
diary. You
Like a
keep a little.
diary.
Yeah, it
You,
is.
you keep from your parents.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You have a little lock on the diary with the little, and then your
Mhm.
parents would find it and they're like, "Where's the key?"
I remember when I was a little kid, we have that in Philippines. What do you call that? Like we
Yeah.
fill it up with who's your crush, and then I
Yes,
kept it to
I
my
used to do
parents.
that.
I kept it to my
I used
parents,
to
and
do
when they
that.
saw it, like, who's this guy? I'm like, oh, son of a gun.
Yeah, no, yeah. My mom, I don't know how she did. I think she just cut it off. I remember I had a little lock in it, but she just like wanted to open it. So she cut the thing off and she read everything. And I was like, oh shoot, like I need to start hiding right now. Because I documented like, oh, I skipped class today to do
Oh
this, to do
man.
that. So, oh my God, I
Mm,
was in so much trouble after she read that diary.
I love it.
So I haven't done it since then, because I'm like, well, you just keep everything in your mind, but
Mhm.
they said it helps
It
to really
It
helps.
write
does.
it
It
down.
helps.
Mhm.
Mhm.
It helps. Yeah.
So I'll
Yeah.
I'll try that, see how it works out.
It's like talking to the same people. Y'all literally are like the same exact people. This is so crazy. Like it's
Aw.
amazing. This is amazing. It's amazing. Thank y'all. I'm so honored, for the people that are on TikTok. I'll be posting this on YouTube as well. Like I want to thank you, Jen, and you, Joy, for finding the courage and the bravery to come on. And y'all coming back. This isn't the last time. Like I'll have y'all back on for
Oh,
sure.
I better.
You
And we
you
could
have to.
we could talk about other things too,
Yeah, yeah. This
So,
is my mental health.
yeah.
Like this is a
Like
community.
how to be
Mhm.
a vampire, like Trey.
I can get to that. I can get to
All
that.
right, I'll teach you. I'll teach you. Like
I
it's
can get to that. Yeah.
it's a whole vibe. But
Hmm.
Yeah.
I love what y'all have said. I love where y'all are going. I love the growth. I love the challenges. I love the ups. I love the downs. I love the emotions that is expressed when y'all are on here. Again, Joy, you cried on here. Jen has cried before. Like, it always gets to that point, and I think it's because at the end of the day, we all see each other as humans, and we see each other as equals. No one's better than the other,
Yeah.
we're all
No.
we're all growing.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, like everybody has their own story, keep flipping the chapters, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I guess mine is still going, I did, not that I wanted to end the chapter, but I had a lot of expectations from this person, and I'm
Sure.
very disappointed that it didn't. I wasn't looking for perfections by any means, but
Yeah.
I was looking for something similar to it.
Yeah.
So but yeah, chapter is gonna keep going.
Keep going. It's gonna keep going. Like,
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Next thing you
Exactly.
know, Trey, like on your next segment, she'll be like, "Hey, I'm a conqueror. I'm a survivor, and I'm not a victim anymore."
Exactly.
That
And then
would
you'll be like,
be, yeah.
"Hey,
Mm-hmm.
this is a new joy that you want to be, that you want to be
Yeah.
excited for,
Exactly.
Yeah, we come back and we talk about this, a year
A
later
year
or
later.
6 months later, just like a step-by-step process, and see how things are going, progressing,
Exactly.
so yeah,
Exactly.
It
that
Exactly.
would be
will.
great. Yeah.
Just like trust the process and know that you are not alone. And if you need someone to talk to when you feel like this day is one of those days that's gonna be really hard for you, you can inbox us. You
Yeah.
can inbox me. Like I'll give you my number. And then I'm one call away. And if I don't answer, it means to say I'm at work.
Oh, yes. Thank you. I
But
appreciate
I'll
that.
send you. You're welcome. Absolutely. Because we like what we went through,
Mhm.
it will literally be a recipe for other people to come out of that situation. And we can together, we if we come together as a survivor, we will literally make some change. Like we will actually inspire people
Mhm.
to walk away from it. And then next thing you know, it's like, oh, this person inspired me. This is her story. She shared it to us, and I've learned from her. And so one day I'm gonna be like her, who will be like a best version of herself or himself. Because let's be real, there's a lot of like men as well who's a domestic violence, but they don't talk about it
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
they're a
Yeah,
man.
I do recognize that. There's actually, especially with men, it's very different for them, because in a society, men are not seen as if they're not, it's not seen that way,
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
it's always been like the man that's causing all of this versus the woman. So yeah, I agree, I
I
agree.
heard few story about domestic violence about men, but it's rare because they don't want to talk about it because
They don't
they're
want to
like,
talk about it.
I'm a
Mhm.
man. I'm this man. Like I need to stay in this like figure that I'm a man. Like no one can do that to me. But in reality, a lot of men go through with this stuff, but they don't talk
Yeah,
about
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Mhm.
Well, hey, that's another topic for Trey.
Topic.
it. Exactly.
Another discovery for Trey.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
yeah, I would definitely love to see something like that.
I know.
Absolutely.
I really want to
Mhm.
hear. Like I felt like someone out in this community, in first community, probably experience it, but they just don't want to come out yet because they're not comfortable yet. But I really want to hear their story. To be honest with you, like
I
what
do too.
I'm
Yeah,
curious about it. Like
Mhm.
of
why
course.
they don't want to come out, knowing we know why, but like what is the situation about it when it comes to men? Because
It's
women, we
fear. It's
know.
fear. And like for me, again, the reason why I had a one-on-one with Trey yesterday was, it was fear. For me, it was fear. I've never done it before. I'm
Uh-huh.
embarrassed to
Mhm.
talk about it because, people are gonna like, well, why did it take 4 years, like why did
Mhm.
it take you so long? People are gonna judge, you know what I mean? Like for me, like the last 2 years of the relationship was the most rocky, and
Mhm.
people are gonna judge. They'll be like, why did it take you that long?
Mhm.
And then again, like you said earlier, like no one really knows what you went through but you. So, you know, people will never understand unless they're really in a similar situation, same
Yeah.
situation. So, but then again, I'm not bashing people who have good intentions for other people, even with no experience, but it's different. It hits differently when, you're speaking to somebody that do have the same
Mhm.
experience.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Ladies, we're going to wrap this up, but I want to thank y'all again. It's been an honor, a pleasure.
Well, thank you for bringing
Thank
me
you
in.
so
And,
much.
this is like,
Mm,
it's something different,
yeah,
I love it. Like I feel like I'm already, ready to make the step forward to that
mm.
healing process. I'm not done crying though. I have to say.
No, keep going. Don't stop.
No, I mean, like
Mhm.
throughout the healing process, I'm gonna have my days,
You will
but
have that, and then as long as you recognize that,
Yeah.
that's a part of healing process, and then you're. I know that. I'm not just saying just for you to for me to make you feel better. I'm saying this because I can tell you're a strong woman,
Absolutely.
because you walk away from the person who you really truly love. You're a strong person just by that, you know.
thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
absolutely.
Thank you.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, well, we will keep in touch, Jenny.
Oh yeah,
Definitely.
for sure.
Definitely, definitely. And guys, go follow them. Jen and Joy. You can at least find them on IG. Follow them, support them. Comment below for any questions that you have for either one of them. Anything that y'all heard here today that you may, want to ask Joy about. Maybe you want to DM her. I'll have her stuff linked below in the description. Or you want to DM Jen and also, ask her questions. I'll have her stuff below as well. But reach out to these ladies. Reach out to them. If you are a victim, or if you're going through this, reach out to these two ladies because they're the perfect people to talk to. But again, Jen, Joy, thank y'all so much. This is Let's Just
Thank
Talk.
you.
Thank you
Absolutely.
so much, Trey.
Absolutely. And you already know we're doing this again. So be ready.
We are.
I will.
All right. It
Mhm.
sounds good. Ladies, you have
Bye,
a good night.
guys.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all. All right, TikTok. All right, y'all.
Bye.
You have a good
All right.
night.
Peace. Okay, good night.
All right, peace.
Mhm.
Bye.
Bye.